We're going to be talking to Raphael RJ2, owner of Beats How You Want 'Em. And yay, there we go.
How you doing? How you doing?
Raphael RJ2 is an American hip hop and R&B songwriter, record producer, singer, and rapper.
I look forward to the panel, just educating people. I'm real big on helping independent artists because I really think they get the short end of the stick, and people take advantage of them for lack of knowledge. So what I do is, because I've been successful for over 3 decades, being my own boss in the music industry. Of course, we're famous for our music production. I have a company called Beats How You Want 'Em. I'm CEO, and then I have my co-founders, Rodney the Boss and my brother King Al Hefner, which is Vids How You Want 'Em and Picks How You Want 'Em. We won our first Grammy actually with Lil Wayne. We produced a song on his album called Misunderstood. It's called Don't Get It on the album, on the Carter 3 album. But everybody knows it as Misunderstood off of the Carter 3 album, courtesy of Rodney the Boss. I'm from Monroe, Louisiana, but I ended up moving to Las Vegas, which is one of the best career moves because I have no off days. I engineer. I get a lot of independent artists, come to the studio, and I do artist development to help them get to the next stage. I'm partnered up with, you may know him well, Charlie Mack. He's with the sync licensing aspect of it. And he also does artist consultant as well to help artists out and help them with knowledge on the game and how to get further with their careers and stuff like that, if they're willing to listen. Because we do get a lot of artists that think they know it all, but they never made it, but they know it all. Like I said, I'm just happy to be on here. I'm happy to talk on the panel, to educate, and let's just make history. Let's educate people and help their lives change.
Let's talk about how you got started in the field, and then what led you to become such a prominent person in the industry, to make those connections, to produce such amazing, phenomenal tracks for large name artists.
I tell everybody this: always do good business, always treat people with respect. My cousin Rodney the Boss and my brother King Al Hefner, we formed a company in '95 called Beats How You Want 'Em. God is blessing us every day we wake up. So to the producer, to the artists, to the engineers out there, if you love what you do, take it serious, invest in yourself. And one of the best things you can invest in is actually your time. Your time is worth a lot. So, take your time to really practice your craft. Take it serious. Don't just look at it like, okay, I'm just doing this. This is just fun. It's a business at the end of the day. One thing that can happen when you make it on a top level is you can lose passion for it because of the business. Because you do have sharks. You do have people that would take advantage of you for lack of knowledge. So if you were to go to my website, I got an educational course and everything on there, trying to educate people on how to get your money, how to register your music, how to register your name. I mean, there's so many things you gotta, you gotta go at it, and get you a team, get you someone that's going to help advise you if you don't know no better. I mean, it's good to experiment sometimes and try it out, but when it comes to business, I know artists that have signed contracts and they still stuck in them things, so you got to be careful. You got to be real careful with the business aspect of this music business.
So, let's talk about that. I think on all aspects of why it's important. I think this conference is going to be good, not just for artists, but for models and talent and PR and event planning in itself, is how cutthroat the industry is, and how it's important to align yourself with the right network. Right. And I think a lot of times where people are selling dreams and not really investing financially, doing your research and your background on the people that you're choosing to work with. Do you find just in your craft and your field with being a producer and making music, what are some scams, if you will, or things to look out for that may be red flags when submitting your music, or trying to work with a certain artist? What are some things that a producer, beat maker, composer should look out for to know that it's possibly a good deal?
I'm going to tell you something that's real scary. Sometimes it's legit. What they don't tell you is you're not ready. I've known some middlemen that can literally get you big meetings with big A&Rs, and they'll say, hey, give me 5,000 or give me 10,000. I can set you up to have a meeting with Universal Records or so and so. And you look the guy up and everything, he's legit. And the reason I say it's scary is what he doesn't tell you is your music is not sonically right. They're going to reject it. He just said, I'm going to set you up for the meeting. So
Right.
technically, he did what he said he was going to do. He just didn't tell you wasn't ready. So when you go take that meeting and they say, yeah, we heard, we like, you're not ready. What could you do? So this is scary when it comes to independent artists, because like you said, we just have a hope and a dream. Music is a gamble. The thing about marketing and promotion, you can't make people like your music. You can only put it in their face.
I mean, it can be complicated, but I think it's also being humble and grounded enough to know if you're ready or not, and you've done what you needed to do to be ready. So that's why I say it's like the get quick rich schemes, or like, oh yeah, I'm ready, I got this. But truly, have you done the work?
Right.
And really understanding like what it takes to reach that kind of level and that capacity. Some people are naturally talented and, you know, are blessed to be able to move fast forward really quickly. But those that are looking and that need to study the art, need to study music and grab some knowledge. I feel like what you're saying is that people need to do their research and they need to invest in their craft and find a way to know, like, when you feel like you have that sound, or you're at least ready to be in front of somebody, and not taking those opportunities when you're not, and just thinking that somebody's just going to put you on. No, and that's the other part. There is formality in this business. It's not just, you know, walk in and make it, unless you are born into a family that has that pull. But outside of that, you do definitely have to present yourself in a certain way and have certain things. So I feel like, with that being said, that with this conference, I'm hoping that you bring some knowledge on getting people prepared. So like, what would be some things, like, before walking into in a record label meeting or a distribution deal, that aspiring beat maker artists should have, so that they at least have the foundation to be able to have the conversation and not just swished out the door?
Exactly what you just said, foundation. These artists now, not to diss nobody, but I've been in the game for a long time. We have artists that are great. You'll never ever hear from them, ever. But you have artists that are not as great as those artists that you'll never hear from, but they have work ethic. I tell people this too. They keep saying you can't make it in your hometown. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Go do something for the community. It could be bigger than music. This could be bigger than music. People can mess with you because of what you've done for the community. Go out there and help the homeless. Give them socks or something like that. Just do something for your community, and then let it translate into your music. And the way people can fall in love with you and say, man, I mess with this person, you know. Oh, and he just so happened to do music as well. You know, look what he does for the kids. Look what he does for the community. You know, even labels, you know, do something for your city. Don't just expect people to just come at you and throw money at you because you got a great song. It's a lot of people got great songs, but you never hear from them. And it's one thing you said, right? Them knowing the sound. The scary thing about being an independent artist is you be so trapped in the studio and you got these yes men around you. You thinking it sounds good until you go to a major DJ or a major record label and they say, no, this trash. The song may not be trash. It may have potential, but the sonics wasn't right. It wasn't mixed and mastered right. And not only that, as an independent artist, get you a DJ, get you some dope DJs, man. Don't sleep on the DJs. You got to take this music serious. You got to take your craft serious. And the scary part is you may not have a RJ2, hate to say it in third person, but you may not have a me to say, hey, yo, this ain't right. This ain't right. You know, I work to get where I'm at. I'm qualified to tell you if your music is mixed and mastered right. But you have some guys that record at their home studio and they go into $1 million company saying, hey, check it out, sign me. This is it.
Yeah.
No, these labels want a product. They want a product now. They want you to already have your following up. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, foundation. They want to just come and piggyback and put the machine behind you, but they're not going to give you a partnership if you ain't got nothing. I mean, it's guys going into these offices talking about, yeah, give me $1 million, and you ain't even sold 100. You ain't even made $100 off of your music. You talking about give me $1 million?
You know, and it's funny you say that because um, I've been in the music industry for about 20 years, working in radio and Cumulus, and been around a lot of artists, Capitol Records, working with A&Rs, back down south in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and just being in the realm of music and doing showcases and putting events together. And bringing like Sony Music and BMI and people to listen to these artists out here in Las Vegas. Um, there
Yes.
have been deals that were given to individuals off of my platform and my events. And then when I go to follow up with that artist or the parent of the artist, they're like, oh, it wasn't enough money, you know. And sometimes I feel, and just correct me if I'm wrong, it's like, you know, get your foot in the door.
Yes.
You might not get that $1 million deal, but it is your foot in the door to take advantage of the network,
Yes.
connections, and the people you're going to meet. It's a business. It's more than just music.
Exactly.
And sometimes taking the $50,000 or whatever to produce a track, and you may get shelved. You may not, this may not be the one for you, but understanding that you're going to be able to walk indoors through your association
Right.
now that you're with this person. So even though you're shelved, still using that platform to move forward, and then still, you know, making sure that contract is right. However, but I feel like sometimes they get so people get so caught up in, oh, it's not this and not that, but then not understanding or being educated to know that nobody's writing checks like that. You got to take the Master P approach, you know, like I got the hookup, selling
Yeah.
CDs, back out your card, but now you're slinging streams, and now you're slinging, you know, making sure you're on all platforms and you're streaming and you're promoting. The game has changed so much. And even in that, you know, like you said, like even just deciding and having a plan, like you know, a road to success, having goals set. I think it's more than just putting out a song and going viral. I think we need to get back down to the basics, and having marketing
Right.
is a tool that I feel like artists tend to slack on their budget. They don't want to spend the money
Yep.
to creatively put together a branding package
There you
that
go.
speaks to them as an individual, as an artist, and creating that consistency online to where people are conditioned and get to know you. I feel like a lot of
Right.
times it's like, oh, well, I'll just put out my music and put it on Spotify and ask my friends to buy it.
Right.
I think it needs to go further than that. I feel like, you know, like I was saying earlier, talking to Michelle Mackel, I have a publicist that I pay for House of Vegas Pride.
See.
As much
See.
as I love my followers and I love my support group, but there's always new people that you can reach. And when you're using professional platforms and professional opportunities, like through doors to connect with, and making it easier for you, so you're not ripping and running the streets. Let's go
Right.
to a question. Raphael, RJ2, who are your top 3 influences from a music production standpoint?
I'll name you actually. I'll name you 3. Rodney the Boss, King Al Hefner, and Charlie Mack.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that.
That's
And
3 main
and then there's
influences because they challenge me as a producer every day. They challenge me because, you know, my cousin Rodney is a multi-platinum Grammy Award-winning producer, and just to have that around and beats how you want them, I
mhm.
get challenged every day because we all, and Charlie Mack as well. You know, we always sending beats back and forth to each other, like, and listening to it. I'm like, oh my God, you know, we have accomplished so much, especially me and Charlie Mack. You know, especially on the song licensing side. You
Mhm.
know, shout out to like Greg Carter. Shout out to Jamie Foxx. They picked 5 of our songs to be in one of their movies called Hip Hop Family Christmas Wedding. And that was amazing to me because it was all independent artists. Even though I know we were major producers, but I'm still for the independent artists as well because, like you said earlier, you got these middlemen that get over on them. I just want to educate them to learn how to run a business. Like you were saying, a team. You know, don't be afraid to spend that budget. You got to invest in yourself as an artist.
I think, and on that platform in which you're saying too, I think, you know, where you're saying like DJs, you know, are a gateway. These DJs, they're touring, they're doing events, getting booked by, major companies that were like, if you're working with them and have a rapport with them and they're spinning your music, at these events, you have opportunity there. And I feel like
Yes.
DJs and the way like Core DJs works, and then Fleet DJs,
Days.
tastemakers, back in the day with tjsdjs, they started a Super Friends. They, at one point, there was a movement that had happened with DJs and how they
Yes.
moved the crowd, and they came together and started these different coalitions
Yes.
so that they were protecting their business, their bag, and making sure that deals were getting done right. And I think that was a very good pivotal move to when the DJ started to see they're just as important as the MC. You have no
Yep.
music, you have no MC unless you can rock it a cappella or whatever. But the DJ is definitely a very, core factor, I think, in music and entertainment, and coming together on their platforms and working with them and having a
Yes.
team. And some of the most successful people in this industry, you'll see a producer, a beat maker, a DJ, an MC, a host, a hype man, and sometimes even like an event planner, a marketer. Who are some people that you have on your team to ensure that your business is running efficiently?
We have a strong team behind us, and it's not really a lot of people. We really, I ain't gonna say we don't need a lot, but our core is amazing,
Solid.
because my team usually helps other people, and I'm part of that team that helps other people. So it's kind of hard to say like what's my team, because I'm usually helping other people.
Right.
Yeah, but it's one thing I like that you said too about the DJs again. I love those DJs that break records. Let's get them again.
Right.
We need to start breaking records, these independent artist records again too. And I get it. Everybody does have to get paid, and artists, when it comes to the DJs, support your DJs. Oh, you know what? Let me get on these music producers. Can I get on these music producers real
Please,
quick?
let's go. Let's talk
So
about
on
it.
the music producer side, I think y'all need to start promoting y'all artists more that you produce for. I'm talking about the independent artists, not your major artists. When you just get a major placement, they already got a lot of fans. I'm talking about the local producers that's producing the local artists. Promote them, because at the end of the day, you own half of the song. The songwriter gets 50% and the producer gets 50% of the record. Now, if we go in BMI terminology, it's 200%. The songwriter gets 100%, the producer gets 100%. So producers, you own half of the song. So if you go look at my page, I actually pay for ads for the songs I produce for these independent artists. I pay my own money. So they pay me, of course, for the beats, but I take that same money and run ads and stuff like that, because I get half anyway. So why wouldn't I help promote the artist? So producers, and then artists, shout these producers out. I see a lot of artists post a song, hey, check out my new single, but it don't say produced by such and such. You want to
Right.
blow your producers up as well. So I mean, I think, speaking of team, I think everybody has to work together.
Yeah, definitely. And starting with somebody from that level is definitely more rewarding, and it's a authentic relationship, genuine relationship that can definitely be built off that.
The engineering aspect of the music industry definitely take a toll. I mean, everybody that knows me,
Yeah.
they hardly see me go out. I think
I
when I went out to
barely
your event,
see you.
yeah, but I went out to your event. I'm gonna tell y'all, whoever watching, you better not miss her event, because her last one, hey, that's all I'm gonna tell you. No, the last two actually,
Yeah.
so that lets you know, yeah, you dope like that. You
Thank
dope like
you.
that. But yeah, I work every day. I have no off days, but I don't look at it as a job, because I get to meet new people. People fly in. When I get my clients that say, hey man, you know what? I just canceled my studio sessions every other place. I'm just coming here from now on. To me, that's a big deal. I told God, I don't want the smoke. Give me the fire. I want the fire.
Ooh.
So, I want
Okay.
I want every job that's coming to me, because I have an opportunity to help change someone's lives. Another reason I do engineering and producing is because I get to take kids off the streets. Like, I've had Crips and Bloods now that are best friends, because they knew the studio was a neutral zone, and they got to talk. Like, literally, we had one. I'm like, man, look, I remember when I shot at you type stuff. You know what I mean? And now,
Right.
like, they
Right.
best friends, all because of coming to this, to the studio. And to me, I think that's bigger than music. helping people see, hey, it's another way than the way that I get it. Some of us was born in crazy situations to where we had to do what we got to do to survive in the streets. I'm not judging anyone, but my thing is, it is another way, and I'm gonna show you, just like the NFL, just like basketball. You could be an artist as well, and it make it change your life if you do it the right way. And it's really
Right.
no right and wrong way to do it, because music is a gamble. Hell, you might dye your hair pink right here, and everybody like, yeah, that's the part, yeah, that's it. And the music might sound like, it might sound crazy,
Right.
but
Right.
it's a gamble with it. But my thing is, like you were saying earlier, you got to present yourself, you got to show yourself, you got to have a solid team, game planning, videos you do. I even tell people, PR work, like, hey man, do little 1 minute reels, do videos talking to your fan, let them fall in love with you as a person. Go outside and do something for the community as well with your banner on. Make sure you have your banner on. Call the news station and say, hey, it's some rappers out here giving away food to the homeless. When the cameras get there, never look at the camera. You want to have your face still turned this way, handing that food to that person.
And
I'm just saying.
with that shirt showing, you see, I got my
With
house
that
up at
shirt
the
showing.
side.
You
Like,
see what I'm
hey,
saying?
I always got it on, baby, wherever I go.
Right.
So
Work with the
you got to
politicians too.
represent. It's definitely, I feel like there is community
Mm-hmm.
and there is togetherness. There are a lot of different opportunities for artists to get on platforms out here and showcases, open mics. Somebody's always doing
Yeah.
something. What would you say to an artist that is looking to get exposure? Do you feel like hitting those open mics and those events, even if there's 4 people in the crowd or whatever, you don't feel like it's popping enough for you to be there? Do you think that is a marketing tactic tool to always make sure you're on somebody's stage when you are available?
Throw your own event. Throw your own show. Throw your own show and make yourself the headline if you got to. But if someone gives you the opportunity and you feel it's beneficial, I don't care if it's one person there. Perform like it's a million people there. Use it as a opportunity to get footage.
Right.
If anything, get your cameraman there and put them at an angle to where they don't see the crowd if nobody's there. But you want to get
Right.
that footage. You tell them where you can use that. Everything is an opportunity. When you're an independent artist, everything is an opportunity. You want people to see you. You should have a camera on you 24/7.
Yeah,
And let's
I
keep it
feel you on
real.
that.
We got guys speaking of like gang members, and we got we in Vegas. We got the pimps, we got the drug dealers. Some of these guys are really out here in the street. So some of them don't want to put themselves on social media because it could be dangerous. As a rapper, you gotta floss, you gotta say, yeah, I got this, I got that, because that's like some of that culture. But you do have people who are afraid of their lives because they're like, man, somebody might rob me if I get on there. So they're torn between, you're telling me to get on social media and flash, but I'm also scared I'm gonna get robbed. So for some artists, they're afraid of their life. You could be the most talented person in the world, but if you don't have really the image, and even for women, it's hard for y'all. It's hard for women in the music industry. And I tell my producers this, because let's keep it real. We human. You get a pretty woman in your studio, because sex sells.
Yeah.
But if you get a pretty woman in your studio, I try to tell my producers, my guy producers, man, you may be holding back the next Beyonce because you in your feelings. And I always tell my female artists and producers, but mainly my female artists, this: yeah, you can get stuff with your looks, but pay for everything. That way, no guy can sit there and say, well, I ain't giving you your masters because you don't like me. No, I paid for that. Give me my masters, give me my music. So I try to tell the women to pay for everything. And then
So,
for the guys who's trying to make it,
mhm,
I know it's tough if you're a real street guy, you don't want to expose yourself, but bro,
mhm.
it's you gotta have some type of image. These kids will want to say, hey, I want to be like this guy, or somebody gotta want to be like
Right.
or something,
But let's talk about that, really quick, because you are a man,
Mm-hmm.
and I will say, like, 80% of my platform are lesbian women.
I'm a
And then
lesbian. I
don't
love
start.
women.
Okay. I
I
hate
love women. I'm a
I
lesbian.
hate that phrase. Oh, I'm a lesbian too. Like, okay,
Hey, I
whatever.
am. I ain't messing with no man. I'm sorry, like I ain't messing with men.
That
I'm a lesbian.
that is a conversation for another day, and I surely am. Okay, and we can go tat
Definitely.
for tat one night.
Right,
No,
right.
anyway.
All day.
What would you say to women and advice as a man and doing good business, the importance of keeping your integrity, sticking to your craft, and to really enter this industry in the right way so you don't get ran through, if you will.
Just pay. Simply just pay. Just pay. That way, you know, nobody can hold nothing against you. I mean, now it can turn around. You know, I've had incidences because, you know, I record, you know, porn stars as well, right? So I've had incidences to where, you know, I know it's too much information. Why might have masturbated off of this porn star, and now she's right here on my mic and threatening me in a sexual way, like, "Hey, RJ, I want you," type stuff. But my thing is, once they put that money in my hand, I ain't sleeping with you like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just me. But as a producer telling, like, you know, women that looks amazing, that comes to the studio, and you think you may have to dress down. You're a woman. A man gonna try you anywhere it go. But my
Right.
thing is, always pay the producer, always pay the engineer, always pay the photographer. Just pay, period. And that way nobody can ever hold it over your head like, oh, you might flirt with the guy and you may get free beats out of him, but as soon as he find out you got a boyfriend, you know, now he holding your masters back and all that.
Have you seen both sides to where you see relationships work when they're in the industry, working together as a real team and not taking advantage? And have you seen where it's just blown up and like careers are ruined, it turns messy and nasty, and now,
Both.
you know, the severity of that? Like, what can you, have you seen anything like that?
I see it all the time, but I'm gonna tell you this: I'm not a jealous person, but I do envy those producers and those artists that can be boyfriend and girlfriend. That's
Yeah,
one thing I've never had. I always did want it. It was always a dream of mine to produce artists that I was, you know, in a relationship with. I know it's kind of crazy, but I've never done
that's
it
not
throughout my career because once they put that money in my hand, that's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like once she put that
right.
money in my hand, I ain't even finna go there with you, you know what I mean? Because I want that money again. You know, I don't want you to get in your feelings and stop giving me the money, you know.
Right.
But like I tell, you know, tell the females, pay, pay. Don't do it with a smile. You can, you know, just pay, just simply just pay, and make sure you get your product. That way, this guy can't say I'm in my feelings. Or if you do, you know, things happen. People have chemistry in the studio. If you just so happen to mess around and get with your producer, and then y'all break up, at the end of the day, business is business. Make sure you got everything taken care of. So whoever gets in their feeling can't hold it against the other. You know, to where it's
Right.
like, no, you're not masters because we broke up now, or nah. You might be holding back the next Beyonce.
But I did have another question that I wanted to go back to music, keeping it on that, because I think it's so unique to have a Grammy nominated, winning, a beat maker and producer composer that is on the panel. Charlie Mack was like, "You need a beat maker." And I'm like, "What? They're different from a producer?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
okay."
that is.
You
It's
know?
a difference. It's a real big difference. So I engineer and produce, meaning I put a lot of input in. I show the artist what to do this, and I sing as well. I sing too. I do vocal
Okay.
training, and I get the artist here and help them enhance what they think they may know, like emphasis on their words they say, how to articulate it. Producers, I show them how to turn their digital instruments to make them sound live by putting something like swing on it or something like that. But a beat maker, and it's nothing against beat makers either, because they're special. They pretty much make beats for them, meaning like the beat is going to be dope all the way through, but they sometimes don't leave room for the artist. So me, what I've learned throughout the years getting beat placements is I always have structure, intro, hook, verse. You know, even counting bars. You know, like R&B is always 8 8 8 8 8. Trap music is always 8 12 8. Hip hop, you know, like 180 BPM and up is always 8 16 8, meaning like 8 is the hook. So once you learn the structure as a producer, it'll help you a long way. Even a beat maker, you just, when you make beat makers, if you want to get placements, leave room for the artist to put their work on it. Me, I only have like
Okay.
3 or 4 sounds in my beats.
You know, and it's, you know, I can sit here and talk to you forever, but I just have one more question. I think it's very important, is what do you, how have you been able to adapt and adjust from where music was when you started to where it's at now? And what do you
Easy,
see as the future of hip hop and entertainment? Like, what are you seeing just as a
easy,
professional?
easy. Just like I was telling you earlier, you know, you can't physically touch music, but you can make people feel it. So I'm pretty much selling air. I make money every day. I adapt because I'm not afraid to invest in myself. I've spent over 20,000 on plugins and all that. Even though I don't use them, I just do it in case I go to a studio and they don't have a plugin I have. But I use stock plugins. If y'all want to know one of my secrets, I use stock plugins. Producers know that language. Invest in yourself. Buy the equipment. Stay fresh. And guess what? You're never too old to learn. Wisdom is everything. I learned from the young cats. You know what I mean? I learned how to eat them up. I may smile a lot, but I'm an animal at this. I'm coming for your neck. So, you know, I'm gonna learn from you and I'm gonna use it against you. So my producers, learn and invest in yourself. Artists, learn and invest in yourself. Get you a solid team. Females, pay. Get you a solid team. Invest in yourself. At the end of the day, you said one key thing early on in the conversation: budget. Have a budget and have a game plan. This is not just producers. This is artists, everybody, managers, PRs. Have a game plan. Don't just go in there blindly. You know, have a
Right.
game plan. It'll work out. Plan and execute.
Definitely looking forward to you being a panelist and hosting a workshop for the people that want to dive more into the craft of being a beat maker, producer, composer, songwriter, singer. You hold a lot of heavy weight, and I appreciate you for holding the culture steadfast and being open to work with community.
Always.
It means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means even more to somebody that is going to be able to possibly walk away with an opportunity. I feel like it's going to
Oh, it's always
happen.
opportunity.
Um,
Always.
I want to, before we go, I want to have RJ, I want you to leave us maybe with a quote and some words of wisdom that you live by, to some advice to our viewers this evening.
Simple. Invest in yourself. No one's going to do it for you. Nobody cares. So you got to care enough to do it for yourself. Invest in yourself. Another thing I'll tell y'all, if y'all want to work, go to my website.
If you are an artist, listen up. I can't even express to you. Do not hold this information. We are looking to help any and all people from here to Canada.
Right.
House of Frequency Music Conference. It's happening August 18th at the space during the House of Vegas Pride Music Festival. Tell your friends, tell models, tell talent, PR, event planners, tell your team. Come and have everybody be a part of some part of these workshops so that you can align your team with the right people and strengthen your foundation. That is what this is for. And we have Raphael RJ2 that is on this live right now and is a panelist that will be speaking on beat making, production, dropping jewels. The Q&A panel is going to be amazing with tjsdjs, Girly Anderson, Lala Shepherd, Charlie Mack, Bianca McCall, Michelle Mackerel, and E. Carice. It's very well rounded, and we have some special guests. Septimius is coming to speak about fashion. We have so much going on that this is a room that you want to be in and not trying to opportunity to meet people in person. We will have complimentary cocktails sponsored by Tito's Vodka during the meet and greet. So come and get some libations. It's 18 and plus. We're here to help people, and we will see you next month, August 16th to the 18th at the House of Vegas Pride Music Festival.
I
Make
can't
sure
wait.
you get your tickets. And thank you so much, RJ, for making time for us and being a
Anytime.
part of the conference. We really look forward to what you're going to bring and fellowshipping with you and seeing what's going to come of it.
Most def. Anytime. Anytime. I love dropping the jewels, helping independent artists out.